Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. We've got two big events coming up. Our Bata Business Beer Fest, that's November 22nd. Then Sofa and Suds, the Sanford Couch Races, November 23rd.
Yes.
And for the Beer Fest, we've got live music. We've got...
Bring the family. Bring everybody. I want this to be the biggest one we've ever done, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Clear your schedule. The weather's going to be awesome.
27 different breweries and THC beverages
We just
and
added
some
two
wines.
of those. We just added two more THC beverages. Big
Yeah.
Rick's out there with a winery.
Bring your ID. You got to be 21 and up to get a sample cup, but everybody's invited. We've got a ton of our sponsors out, and thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah,
Just Call Mo, Modern Plumbing. We've got Pyrospot Fireworks as a sponsor. We also have Jeff's Bagel Run as a sponsor. You'll get a free bagel in every gift bag.
Well, it's a card. It's a card for a bagel.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Where's my bagel? It's not in the bag, you lying.
These are
Theo.
stale.
Yeah, this is a card. You said there'd be a bagel in the bag. I'm calling the news.
It'd be funny if we put a bunch of moldy bagels. It was like we had to load these a week and a half
I don't
early.
think Jeff uses any preservatives, so
No,
they'll
no.
get stale fast.
Yeah, it's a card
Yeah,
for
it's
a free bagel at any Jeff's Bagel Run.
Yeah.
And then we've got a bunch of other, like my Eternal
cheap-ass
Vitality.
my cheap-ass wife in the chat room, bring home some of those bagel cards. No, I'm not stealing the Jeff Bagel Run bagel cards, you cheap bitch. No.
And so,
My Eternal Vitality, Dr. Powers is putting some stuff in there. Yeah, it's going to be great.
And just, and you have to get there early at noon. That's when we start handing those out. But really, you can get your sample cup between noon and 2. The beer pouring starts at 2. That's when the live music starts. Tons of food trucks. Of course, it's downtown Sanford. So, like Weston, Celery City, plenty of places to hang out, get some food and drinks. So come out and join us.
Indeed.
Right. So you were saying that the new Stranger Things season, the final season, has been released, correct?
Well,
or is about to be?
I think it's about to be released. They started walking the red carpet. You saw, what's his name? David Harbour, is that his name? And Millie Bobby Brown.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
I know the
Big
sheriff
Fat
and 11.
Yeah, the sheriff at 11.
And is it true they've had some sort of riff?
She filed a bullying complaint, but it must not be much of nothing because I don't know, they're actors. They got on the red carpet and pretended everything was fine. So she did apparently file a formal complaint about him bullying her on the set. Well, what is that? You pushed her face in a sandwich? What does that even mean?
Yeah. What
is bullying on the set mean? No, I want to know because they never say anything and everybody's like, she got bullied on the set by David Harbour. What did he do?
Yeah.
Did he say like, did he say something sexually inappropriate? Because they said it has nothing to do with sex. They said, no.
Is he just teasing her like
get out of your trailer, you punk ass.
Like, like
that bullying?
An older guy would do with a younger person, you know what I'm saying?
What, got your nose? What are we talking about here? What's the teasing?
Like you're teasing them about their generational differences and the stereotype that young people maybe, like you said, get out of your trailer or like,
get to work. Why are you so lazy?
or whatever or like so sensitive or whatever the hell. Like, is it a teasing
the chat
or
room
is it a
said
bullying?
that he asked Millie Bobby Brown to pull his finger.
That's what it is?
It's a joke. I think
okay.
they're messing around.
Oh, okay.
They're messing around.
Because
that is an old man bullying trick, though. Pull my finger. I do it with Maisie all the time. She loves it. She can't wait. You know what? That's not bullying. My daughter honestly cannot wait to pull my finger. If I go, hey, you want to pull my finger? She runs over like, yay! Fart.
Anyway, so we were talking about this new season.
And the headline was, Millie Bobby Brown, she said, I am channeling my inner Tom Cruise for this season. And then I'm like, oh, God, that means there's going to be a bunch of action sequences with stupid 11 jumping around.
She's running weird.
Yeah. Why are you running so weird?
So now, I guess this final season, they're probably going to give a lot of the fan service, right? Like they've wanted Millie Bobby Brown and 11 to be like this ultra powerful
You want her to
superhero.
be like Rogue from X-Men or something, right?
yeah.
Like you want her to come in and clean house.
and then fight like now. Is there
the
multiple?
biggest Demogorgon.
Yeah, like multiple Demogorgons.
Is there a King Gorgon?
the?
Is there a biggest? Who's the biggest
They
Gorgon?
all seem to be about the same size.
How do you kill a Demogorgon? Because I checked out of the show.
Easy ways. I mean, just a standard. It's a living being, so I think
Okay.
you could hack it up. It's,
Okay,
like
easy.
you can kill it in multiple
And
ways.
what are her powers again? Mind smushing?
Mind smushing.
Which is the worst power? We said this off the air, but I think mind smushing, like, oh, I can't see. It's like, oh, what's your powers, Dan? I can use my mind to smush your body dead. So lame.
Here's what
I
I
take
need.
fire or ice over mind smushing.
So it's been established in Stranger Things that when she's doing mind smushing, that it takes a lot of effort, and then she gets
Yeah.
a nosebleed after.
And I would
then
imagine
sometimes
as a
faints.
woman, she pees a little. Because my wife,
yeah.
everything my wife goes to do that has any strength involved,
Yes.
my wife, much like 11,
Yeah.
will pee her pants.
Yeah.
Anything.
It's a pee nosebleed.
Yeah, sometimes my wife will pee her pants just because she
Yeah.
farted. And I'm like, really?
yeah.
Really?
Oh, my wife's peeing her pants all day long, all the time. Like for anything.
Yeah, if your
Like, she
wife
gets out of
pees
the car,
your
she's like,
pants, elbow her and go, nice one,
Yeah,
11.
yeah. So like, what's wrong down there?
Yeah.
Then she yells that she had a baby
Yeah,
and it ruined
I had
everything.
a baby down here.
And then I'm like, I'm like, I want to see other people complain about that.
Good Lord.
Yeah, my Meemaw, she never complained one time.
I don't think my grandma peed when she sneezed.
Yeah.
I think women have
No,
gotten
she
weaker.
just kept it to themselves.
I think women have gotten
No,
weaker.
it's
When
just-
my grandma sneezed, a U.S.-made bullet fell out because she was strong and hard. A pipe fell out.
A rivet.
Yeah, my grandma worked for DuPont. You remember DuPont? When
She was riveting things.
When my grandma sneezed, a fully formed A-10 Warthog plane came out. She was like, ready, American GI.
A warhog rivet. Anyway, so
Sorry.
So I need to know how much damage is being done after 11 does her powers, because they show the nosebleed, but a nosebleed typically is the
You can get that from blowing your nose.
that's less than a sprained ankle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a nosebleed could just be a dry nose.
It could be a dry nose.
and nothing. It's
Right.
literally it means nothing.
Maybe mind smushing makes your nose dry.
Like,
We don't know.
Is it a 0? Because like she should get like some sort of alopecia, or a rash would be worse than a nosebleed. Or is it a nosebleed like some sort of brain hemorrhage type of thing, which I don't even think you get a nosebleed, because there's nothing connecting the internal part of your brain to your sinuses. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you get a brain hemorrhage, you don't get a nosebleed, do you? I don't know.
Well, they have to
nothing.
show it somehow. And they're not going to make her pee her pants. That'd be funny, right? If she's like,
I think would that go out to your ear? I don't know. I just need
Yeah.
to know how serious the nosebleed
and
is.
how do the ragtag group of penis-shaped head kids fit in?
Just like always, they're trying to save her in some sort of, riding their bikes.
Have any
they're-
of them?
they're
And which
all-
one is one of
they're
them
all- they're
romantically
drink-
into her, or all of them? Because if it were true to form, they'd all be fighting over her.
Okay, well, one of them, who's the kid that was missing in the first season?
The wimpy one.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
wimpy penis hair.
Yeah. I think he's
the
he
worst.
likes dudes, and he likes the other penis hair. It's a lot of
Oh my God. So wait a
he's
minute.
in love with him.
Hold on.
And then
so
he
penis hair that got into,
Will.
Okay,
Will is gay.
Will penis hair, who was trapped in the
Yeah.
upside down the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
season.
He's gay.
He's gay, and he's
I
in
think, I
love
don't
with
know.
the other penis hair.
Yes. But then he likes 11.
Chat room saying you're correct,
And
but
the-
the other penis hair isn't gay, and he likes 11.
But also the
wait,
no,
aren't they brothers? No.
the no teeth one should like listen. If I'm there and I got no teeth, I want 11. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the hillbilly
it's
one.
It's the only girl in the group. Also, the little black kid.
Yeah, oh,
he should
yeah.
want 11
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
and she should want him
I
the
think
most.
he did. I think he did want her.
And that was a dynamic.
Well, no, remember he got angry with her, but what do I know about the misplaced anger?
Yeah.
He was really in love with her.
Here's the thing. like when I was in middle school, there were some girls that hung out with our
And
group.
every boy liked each girl.
yeah.
Like you liked every
I'll
girl.
take yeah.
So every boy in that group likes 11 is my point.
Yeah, but they don't portray that. It's only one. It's only the tallest, skinniest.
Hey, idiots! There's a reason they put an orgy in it. in the
original
book.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
That was real.
That was real.
Yeah,
Stephen King don't. He ain't gonna. He ain't all. He's like, I'm gonna make them pee their pants. No nosebleeds for me.
Yeah.
He's like,
straight up orgy.
Yeah, he's like, nosebleeds don't make sense.
Yeah. The orgy makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, that's all we needed to do. We had to say that.
All right.
Do you want to do some voicemail messages from our listeners? You guys can leave us voicemails, and we like it when you do that. You can leave us voicemail messages for any product we have, a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan, the Friday Free Show that is uncensored. Even if you have a question for Love Thy Neighbor that we do with our very good friend Colette Fair, you can do that.
Okay, back to bullying real quick.
Please.
And this is like Tommy will every once in a while be like, bullying will get brought up in some way, and then Tommy's like, "Oh, I get bullied all the time again," and then I'm like, "What? No, you don't." And then I'm like, and then I make him describe, and then I have him like reframe. I'm like,
walk me through the bullying.
I'm like, "Is that bullying?" And he does. I don't think he's even serious about it because he jokes around too. But I'm like, "Let's walk through this." I'm like, "Is that or is that your a friend of yours? Because you've now established him as this is a person you talk to, giving you S." Like, because boys do that to each other.
Yes.
Because they don't know how their emotions are figuring it out.
Yeah,
so,
they don't know what to say.
So they'll just, it's like how little boys will hit a girl in the head if they like her. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to express it.
I did a little bit of that.
So you're just, and sometimes that's someone's love language. Like I give my friends S all the time, but is because I like them, and so I try to make them reframe it, even if it is like in a different way. At least maybe he's affected by it differently because he's reframing how he looks at it.
Yeah,
in one way,
I agree.
In one way, it's a mean bullying. In another way, it's an affectionate razzing.
Well, either way, you shouldn't let it define you.
Yeah,
I think your positive outlook is way better.
So and I've done that my entire life.
Err on the side of positivity.
Someone's making fun of me, I look at it like, oh, they only doing it because they like me. And who cares if it's not that true?
Why would they want to waste their energy on saying something negative to you?
Yeah. Just reframe how you look at it. Anyway, let's
I like that one. I like that a lot. Let's go with this one right here.
Yo, BDM Neil here. I'm listening to the BDM show, the start of it, and this is awesome. You guys are basically in my backyard. I recently moved up here to the Panhandle a couple of years ago. I live in a place called Defuniak Springs. If you look it up, it's one of the oldest cities in Florida and stuff like that. It's like 200-something years old now, or so whatever. It's pretty cool. I've been to Falling Water State Park that Ross talked about. Funny.
People very much liked on our BDM show us talking about all of these crazy places in Florida.
All right.
And it started like, people started just sending an email like, try this place. Like, it feels like there's something there that we need to revisit more often.
Yeah, we should do a once a month show about just
a different spot
in Florida to go see.
Lots of people weighing in on like very simple things. That's the stuff I like. I like little simple things.
Yeah, little day trips you can take and then have a unique experience.
If you have one, show@tomandan.com. Email us and thank you, BDM Neil, for always leaving us voicemail messages.
So Neil, let's talk about Defuniak Springs.
Yes.
The worst named spring in Florida.
Because we got something wrong yesterday, buddy. We got an email from a lady that said, are they right here? We were talking about that other place. The one, what was the place you were talking about?
The Warm Spring?
Yeah, no. Okay, here it is right here. This is from Carla. She said, hey, just a note, Wimayuma?
Wimayuma?
Yeah, she said it's pronounced Waimama.
Waimama, Florida?
Waimama, Florida. She's like, I'm not trying to be snarky. I just wanted to share. I know the area. Carla says it's called Waimama, Florida.
Okay.
This is the type of show I want to do. I want to talk, why is it called Waimama? Because I love that.
Now, I've never heard of Waimama, Florida.
Well, now I got to have a shirt. I got to have a Waimama, Florida shirt.
Yeah.
So that's a country song. Waimama, Florida?
So back to Defuniak Springs. I'm not mad at Neil for bringing up Defuniak Springs. I'm mad at Mr. Defuniak or whoever the hell named that spring. Just call it Blue Springs. Had it right. Rock Springs, Jenny Springs, Blue
Is
Springs.
It Defuniak? Defuniak?
Defuniak Springs. Just call it green spring. So, call it anything else but the funiac.
Are you saying it's a little too...
It's stupid.
Okay.
It's hard to pronounce. It sounds bad. Like, call it cream springs.
Cream?
You know what I'm saying? Like, just call anything else.
The funiac.
Yeah.
I think it's the funiac.
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's fair. I think you're allowed to do that.
Call it cold springs. Call it, sunny springs.
So you want a more simple spring term?
Call it luscious springs.
I don't like that. I'm not going to luscious.
Better than Funiac.
I'm not going to luscious springs.
Call it sand springs.
I like sand springs.
Yeah.
Shark springs.
Like salt spring. That's a good one.
Why not just name it after wildlife? Call it like crane springs.
Yes.
Manatee springs.
Yeah. Silver springs.
Alligator
is good.
springs. Do we have an alligator springs?
That is, they could, well, it could scare away the non-Floridians.
That's fine with me.
Yes. Alligator Springs is perfect.
Call it AIDS. I don't care. Whatever will scare away the most amount of people.
All right.
Here's an email. This is from Dave. He says, "Hey, Dan, I actually saw you in person for the first time this weekend. I was at Walmart. Uh-oh, I'm busted. I was at Walmart.
Embarrassing.
I love Walmart. Me and my wife actually got, you know what time we were at Walmart? This is very embarrassing. Maisie had early morning dance call time, so we dropped her off at 6:45. We were at Walmart at 7 a.m.
No.
We were 7 a.m. people of Walmart. Dan Dennis, Andrea Dennis, Walmarting it around.
Now, if you're
7 a.m. Walmart.
If you're gonna find the, I guess the most pleasant customers of Walmart is probably 7 a.m.
There's nobody in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice, actually. It says, Dan actually saw
10
you.
p.m. is the worst.
Oh, real bad. 3 a.m. You'll get a fight in the McDonald's. I saw you at Walmart getting my usual stuff. I saw you and the wife walking into the candy aisle. I know because I love those nerd clusters too. They had some new red, white, and blue ones that are not too bad. It's funny. I thought of a bunch of stuff to say to you and questions that I'd ask, but then realized that I probably wouldn't want to be held up while shopping. It was just cool that you were in my neighborhood. It's maybe not so cool as a fan to be a wuss and walk away. You're pretty hard to mistake for anyone else when you're rocking that beard. Love the show. If I were to date myself, hold on, what does he say here? Remember the time when the Monsters of the Midday, then things changed. I always thought you'd do really well together. The Tom and Dan is too much funny for people to compete with. Love you. All right. Thank you, Dave. Should have said hi, buddy.
Let me put out a public service announcement to everybody listening to this. People that are not that famous, they enjoy people stopping them and saying they listen to the show or watch the show or know who you are.
Yeah.
Way more than people that are too famous and get it too much.
True.
And I think that's universally true. No one and here's the tier. Anybody in local radio, local TV, local anything, stop and say you appreciate them. They'll appreciate it.
I think so.
They're not bothered by it. They never get it that much. Their audience isn't that big, especially nowadays. I'll make a.
Somebody saw you on Halloween and didn't say hi in the chat room. They said.
Especially in front of my wife and kids.
Were you dressed up or were you not
No,
dressed up?
I didn't dress
Boo!
up.
Boo this man.
Well, you know what?
I dressed up. I wore my Hollerbox lederhosen. You know how many? Dude, do you know how many compliments I got on my lederhosen? I should just wear them all the time.
Yeah. Did Maisie want you to wear it?
She did.
Yeah. Well, that's my sons don't want anything, so they.
That's awesome. It's easy.
No, but I want them to want me.
That's a good song title. Robin Zander.
So anyway, anybody in podcasting, for the most part, excluding Joe Rogan
and Nick Fuentes
and the Kelsey brother, anybody famous or whatever, like they want you to stop them and say, hey, I appreciate that. Anything.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I like.
They're not bothered by it.
No,
I promise you.
I like to say hi, and it's funny that you saw me at Walmart, and I probably would have chirped you good. So.
And if they are bothered by it, they're insane because it never happens to them that much.
That's true. Keyed Up BDM says, Dan saw me at City Barbecue and hugged me. I think I went too far. I hugged Keyed Up BDM, and I think I went a step too far.
Now, if you're Tom Cruise, you are bothered by it because you can't go out anywhere in public. without being swarmed or like paparazzi.
But if you're
and things
Dan the loser,
no, but I'm just saying, like, people somehow treat everybody in the same level of celebrity, and we're like, hey, I don't want to bother this person. Like, if they are low-level celebrity, it actually is a compliment to them.
it is.
I think.
Yeah. Nice to say that you're part of the listeners.
Now, it depends, like, if maybe
Depends on what you're doing.
If you are, like, at a dinner with your spouse.
Your dying grandfather.
And then, or something like a serious situation, and then it looks like they're tuned into each other.
Celebration of life for my dad. You come sliding over, like, hey, Dad, remember when he did that buddy call?
But if Dan's at the candy section of Walmart,
I want to be talked to.
And you got to tell him you see what he's doing.
Yeah, you got to be like, Walmart, but then you're there too, so you don't want to. What are you gonna say? I do love Walmart, man. And I'll tell you one better. I went to Walmart that day, and then my wife dropped me off so I could hang out with Dansby. And then my wife went to 8 different Asian grocery stores. She loves Asian grocery stores.
Yeah.
Loves them. There's like all kinds of crazy. We have such crazy food in our house.
Well, now you got the new giant one.
We haven't been to H Mart yet. I've heard it's really good though. But
how does she love Asian grocery stores and haven't been to the biggest one?
Too packed. It's like going to Epic Universe. It's like you can't get in.
Well, you got to go 7 in the morning.
Even then, I think like people line up. Yeah. Let's do this voicemail. This one's for you, buddy.
What's up, Tom and Dan? It's the very Joe. I've got a little piece of advice for Tom because it's come up recently on the show, and I'm listening to the OG show, and it's coming up again. The way you trick your wife into picking where she wants to go for dinner is you say, honey, I picked out the spot. I picked out your favorite place to go for dinner. And she said, oh, where? And you say, guess. And that's where you go to dinner. Come on, man, it's easy. Come on. Can we put this one topic to bed? God.
I think Crystal would figure that out.
There's
no way that Crystal's going to fall for that. What are we dealing? Like, that's like the oldest trick. No.
I'm like,
she'll kill you if you do that.
Guess where the ball is. to Barry Joe, you saw that on a meme, first off, which it doesn't work in real life.
This is how we communicate with each other now. We look at memes and we tell our friends memes.
Yeah. Like, you think if I'm driving the car, I'm like, I got the perfect place for dinner. And she's like, what? And then I'm like, why don't you guess? You think she's not going to figure it out?
Like, no, you say it first because I know this trick. And then you have to think of something, and then you say Porky's Barbecue, and she hates it.
To Barry Joe, she knows I don't know. You understand? So you can't say all of a sudden, 20 years later, I figured it out. She's going to know I'm lying. God! Anyway. And don't take advice from memes. It doesn't work.
Do you know your wife's favorite restaurant?
No, of course not.
I don't think I know my wife's favorite restaurant either.
And because it changes, because she's crazy.
Yeah. Well, she lost a couple too. I mean, being a vegetarian's harder. You go into, I feel like, and I'm being serious here, as a vegetarian, I feel like your wife goes into having a favorite restaurant knowing that it will be shut down at some point.
There's also an element, and I can't sometimes, like, okay, she's a vegetarian, so there's lots of good vegetarian, vegan places around town, right? Sometimes she wants to go there with her sister and mom, who are also vegetarian.
Yeah, because she doesn't want you poisoning the well. Yes, yeah. You poison everything you go to, man.
You're
poison.
Yeah, I know. And she doesn't want me to take her there.
Because you're just going to say, ooh, ew.
Because even if I pretend,
enjoying life with you is poisonous.
I'm good at pretending.
You are good at pretending.
Even if I pretend I like it.
Let me see you. It's okay face. Let me see it.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Okay. You took a bite. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Look at him. Look at him go. Yeah. You can only see that on YouTube and Twitch.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's pretty good. You are America's greatest actor.
Anyway, she knows that I'm not, she knows that I'd probably rather go to a place that has a meat option. So therefore, it kind of ruins her time at the vegan or vegetarian restaurant a little bit.
Yeah.
Than just knowing that maybe I'd prefer something different.
I
know that about her.
Yeah. I think that's common, right? Like if I have a place that I really want to go to, and it's her pick.
Yeah.
She knows by going with the other pick that she runs the risk of rolling the, like, is he going to be a baby dice? And I've gotten better with it. I'll just be like, it's fine. Like, and we cook so much now. I don't even ask. I realize that most food, I've tried to take this attitude of like I'm lucky to have this, so I don't even ask anymore. Like I just like if we do like a what is it, Hello Fresh or Home Chef?
Yeah,
one of those meal kit things. Like I don't even ask them, just get whatever, it's fine.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
No, I've gotten to the point where I'll just eat anything.
Yeah, it's
it
all
doesn't
delicious.
matter,
Yeah, it's fine. We're lucky to have it.
I always look at it like, okay, I'll eat this, and then in half an hour, I will not be hungry anymore.
Right.
You know,
Right.
And no matter what it tastes like or what if I want it or not, in half an hour it'll both be the same. Whether it's the most delicious meal or the grossest meal, it has the same result.
You're not wrong.
You know, like a horrible way to live.
It's a lot of fun there. Sounds great, buddy.
Whether you like it or whether you hate it, the feeling in 30 minutes will be exactly the same.
I look at everything, sex, everything.
Whether you like the sex or hate the sex, in 30 minutes, the feeling you have will be exactly the same.
Let's try this voicemail right here.
Yeah, I heard Tom say that he was upset he wasn't invited to the roast of Sean Watson, and that's why I came up with top 5 reasons Tom wasn't invited to the roast of Sean Watson.
Do you want to do this? I heard it went really well. I heard Sean and the News Junkie gang had a darn fine roast that I probably should have taken.
Yeah.
I probably should have snagged one of those tickets. Okay, you ready?
Let me see if I could write a better one.
Do you want me to play it, or you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
write
yeah,
it while
yeah,
he's
yeah,
playing?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
here we go.
Number 5, can't read his own writing. Number 4, vegetarian wife won't let him attend any more roast-related events. Number 3, Dante the smoothie boy was unavailable to escort Tom. Number 2, Tom was busy with bass lessons with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And the number 1 reason Tom wasn't invited.
He got that one wrong. It's Casey and the Sunshine Band. Everybody knows that Tom was molested by the bass player of Casey and the Sunshine Band. It was not Earth, Wind, and Fire. Those are black guys. Those are black guys. You're a racist too, sir. Earth, Wind, and Fire, black guys. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Have you seen him lately?
Who?
Casey.
No. It was the bass player. It wasn't.
No, I
KC
know,
or-
but I'm just saying, have you seen KC?
No, I don't know.
Oh, man.
He's old as hell, right?
He is old as hell, and he's still doing it, but he still does the dance and everything. And you can Google it. It's all over TikTok. It's becoming one of the Frankie Valli things again. He has the biggest, no exaggeration, Casey from Casey and the Sunshine Band has the largest distended mega belly I've ever seen.
Oh,
It's
super hard.
Dude, it's humongous.
Is it like a Jack Black?
Bigger.
Because, oh, man.
Bigger.
And it's
Bigger.
hard,
it's
right?
humongous, and he wears the giant Hawaiian shirt over it.
Yeah.
And it's he's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. When it's hard,
Yeah.
is like the
And he's doing
When
the
it's like,
dance.
"Ah,
He
it's
does
too
like
hard."
he does like the what do you call that dance you do, the what is that? The grapevine. He does like the grapevine. And
Yeah.
he's doing the shake your boot. He still does all the stuff. He still sounds good. I just wish somebody tell him to push away I think it's alcohol. It looks like a big alcohol belly.
yeah.
Like a big giant whiskey belly or something.
Weird that alcohol makes it big and hard.
I know,
So
right?
why is it so hard?
Can you
I don't
can
know.
you dose that? Can you have just like a little bit and get a mid hard?
I don't
So
know.
it kind of like is like a flat hard. Or
It doesn't
no?
happen to everybody, but for
No.
whatever
For the
reason.
roast of Sean Watson.
Oh, sorry. Let me get him out of here. I'm done with that.
All
I'm done.
right, yeah,
that was
yeah.
stupid. Get out of here. Don't never do that again. You want to do another one?
Sure.
Let's do this one right here.
Tom Van, you're talking about the great tick infestation over in Heroin Alley that you had, and it reminds me when I was a kid growing up in Hawaii. We lived next to a pineapple field, and after they grow the pineapples and chop the tops off, they burn the pineapple fields, and Hawaii is full of all these really crazy-ass spiders, and so they burn the pineapple fields, and all them spiders got to go somewhere, and guess where they go? Right to our damn house. We used to have, like, nightly freakouts, because my dad was in the Army, and he was always off in the field, and so it would be like my mom and me and my brothers, young guys, and there would be like these dinner plate sized spiders crawling up the walls. You'd see that one, you start freaking out about it, you don't know what to do, you throw a shoe, and then it runs to the other wall. Well then there's another one coming behind you. Like, I'm telling you, these things were everywhere, and they were huge, and they were terrifying.
Not the size of dinner plates. You're misremembering that. The size of a dinner plate for a doll. A doll dinner plate. Not to sound like Tom here, but a full-size dinner plate?
Yeah, that's too big.
That's a humongous. That's the spider's as
maybe
big as
a bread
the
plate.
circumference of a pumpkin. That's too big.
Well, shout out to all the veterans out there.
Yeah,
Thank you for
man.
your service on
Appreciate
Veterans
you.
Day.
Thank you.
That is some of the some of my friends that had to go over.
I have a lot of friends that toured the world
and
because their family served.
Yeah, or do the 6 to 8 months in the Middle East and stuff, just leaving the Grizz and my buddy Alex and my Heidi's husband Rob, and had to do a bunch of tours, and that time away from your family has got to be so difficult that probably that is your biggest sacrifice, is the time away from your family.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine.
And so anyway,
it also makes me think, do you
you
value it more? Yeah, of course. And we appreciate you guys for doing that. We have a lot of listeners that are overseas. I love it when you guys write us too. Please. If you want to write us or call us and leave us voicemails about what you guys are doing, we'd love to hear from you. We have a couple of listeners that are stationed in Japan that send us snacks and all kinds of crazy stuff. I wonder if they value it more after doing that. When you come home and you are done, you're like, you know what? I am family through and through. It kind of changes your perspective, I bet.
Nowadays with technology, the ability to FaceTime your family now has got to be a game changer comparatively to 25 years ago. Obviously,
it helps me. Do you use it? I use it when Andrea's on a trip. It does change how you being able to show Maisie her mom. Have her go here I am, here's the place. It's a different animal.
Just being able to spend some sort of at least digital time face to face is a game changer. But anyway,
this is a huge email, and this is a big deal, and I've been waiting for this, and I think we're gonna have to set something up for this because this could be quite possibly be huge for the show. This is from Michael. He says, "Hello again, Michael here, your listener that offered to try and find your Native American ancestors. I hope you're not mad or weirded out, but I jumped the gun and I started looking into things. I hope you, I know you guys were gathering the info I said that I needed, but I got bored one day and I used context clues from listening to you guys for so long, and I began digging into your family history like some sort of police private investigator would. I'm not a professional genealogist or anything like that, but I feel like I'm good enough to find what I can with the power of the internet and various databases for genealogical research. All that to say, I am confident that I have found Tom Van's Native American blood ancestors, as well as a few other really cool things about your family and family tree. Dan, I've also done the same for you. I managed to trace your ancestry pretty far back. While I haven't found any Native Americans like Tom, I don't believe there's any there. I'm pretty sure we do not have that. I did find some really cool things about your family as well. If you want to hear more, let me know. Thanks so much, Michael." There it is. You're Native American, buddy. You're Native American.
Now
you can get your headdress out of the attic again.
It's already out. Anyway, but what about the DNA? That doesn't matter, or that's not as, you know what I'm saying?
That is a great question.
I took the DNA test and it did not say. But is it too far back? I don't know.
You just took a DNA test and you're 100% that bitch. No.
Yeah. That's how
it's interesting, right? Well, Michael, we would love to set up a time for you to come in. We would love to walk through all of this. Who had the more sinister family? Whose family was worse for the world? My family? I'm going to guess my family.
Well, yours goes back into Germany.
True. So it could get real dark. It could take a really dark turn.
A lot of problems over there.
Yeah.
But
they did have some for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, come on the show and present us the evidence. It'd be, I don't, you know what?
You already kind of want to be I don't believe it, right? Because you did the DNA test and they said none.
Here's my personality. It doesn't change anything in my outlook on life or any way I behave or see anything or even.
You're not going to start going to powwows now, right? If you started dressing,
I'll show up tomorrow.
There was a time when a guy we worked with Okay, I'll say it.
I'll ride here on a horse.
I'll say it. I'll say it. When Shannon Burke started wearing Native American biker jackets, I wanted to clown him. I wanted to make fun of him. You know, with the fringe, you need to start wearing all Santa Fe style clothing. Can I outfit you?
Full Santa Fe?
Full Santa Fe.
Yeah, I'll go full
Santa Fe Tom.
Yeah,
Can you be Santa Fe?
Even though there's like, this is not your, you're like, no, my Santa Fe Tom.
What's your Indian name? You're Santa Fe Thomas Chisholm. And you still wear a top hat like
Santa
an
Fe
Indian.
Chisholm.
Will you wear a J Medicine hat, Indian top hat?
yeah, I will. Yeah, 100%.
Because it'll make me look better with my longer hair and beard. We'll
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like a couple of cowboys.
Yeah.
I'll wear a cowboy hat. You wear a top hat. And
Yeah.
you can be my Native American sidekick.
And I'll get tan.
Oh, yeah, you're allowed now. You're allowed now. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
wear dream catcher earrings. You can walk
Yeah.
around with your shirt off. It is totally fine. You can wear bracers on your biceps.
Yeah.
Leather bracers, totally fine. You're allowed to do all that. You can wear
Yeah.
leather lace-up pants. Totally fine.
And then I'm like, some listener told me I could do this.
Oh, my God. The chat room wants to start calling you Jay Waterhead. Because you messed up Jay Medicine Hat's name when Ross Patchett was on the Friday Free Show. All right, let's do one more. This is from our buddy Joshua. I love this guy. Hey, Dan, if you do actually want to do some island camping over on the Intercoastal, let me know. I can get you all set up with canoes or a boat to be able to get around and get everything over to the island. We have a place on the Intercoastal and know all of the nice camping islands over there. There's one about 100 yards from the ramp, which is really nice. And the ramp has restrooms available for the girls. You're welcome to take the pontoon out. And he goes through a whole thing, but he knows the area. I would love to do some of that. Yeah, I will be taking you up on this, sir.
So-
I just got to get out of dance season.
My question has always been, because me and Crystal wanted to do this, like,
I'll do it with you.
so we thought, okay, we one time took the Wizards family out on the Intercoastal south of Satellite to check out some spoil islands.
Yeah.
Because we were like, hey, we should go out here with the kids and camp. And then when we got to them, it was dirt of bird poop everywhere, like in every square inch of every green tree and bush. There was bird poop because birds, like from migration or whatever, they'll land at the island and poop it up crazy, and bird bones to the point where it stunk like
It looks
bird
like
ass.
It looks like a bird graveyard.
Yeah. And then it was all just shelly. Like it wasn't inviting at all.
Yeah.
And then I was
you
like,
don't want to camp on a shelly crap island.
Yeah. That's what it was.
I don't blame you.
So then I'm like, then that told me immediately. I was like, well, it doesn't mean all the islands are like this, but it means the ones that are nice are sought after. And then if they're sought after, then I'm going to show up there
Yeah,
like,
you'll be up late to the party.
well, yes, I'm going to show up there to camp with all my camping gear and the Wizard family and all the kids, and there's someone going to be there already. Because they got up early, and they live close.
Well, that won't happen to me because Andrew will have me out there 5 a.m.
No, you don't have to worry about this. But you'll be at our island already, and then we'll be like, oh, I got all the camping gear. Where do we go?
I'll save you space.
No, then we're going to be in Bird Poop Island. So, and then other people told me you can reserve ones. Like you could, but then I was like, what? But a lot of people don't, like, they just first come, first serve, even with reservations.
No, that's how you get shot.
Well, but then
I'll burn your tent down.
So then you show up and you're like, I reserved it. Then you have to make everybody leave. That's
I would make them
awkward.
leave. No, it's not awkward for
It's
me.
awkward.
It's just like I would do it at a Magic game if you're in my seats. I would just, sorry, you got to leave.
So I need a lot more information about, like, from people like, hey, do this all the time. If you show up at this time, it's fine. No one's there. Anyway, something like that. This island's the best one. Because I thought it was just going to be you show up at any island, it's going to be a damn tropical paradise, and it was not that.
No, you want to be set up for success.
And the weather's got to be good because it's hot as hell. Like you show up and the worst is sweating in your tent at 8 in the morning, especially if you're hungover from the night before. All of a sudden it's so bright and hot that you're like, oh God, I have to get out of here.
Tents,
it's hard in Florida.
You would think that they would create some sort of a tent that would push air through it, like effectively. I know that they try to do that with venting and stuff, but every tent I've ever owned, you get in it in Florida and you die. You just die in it.
Because it's too hot here. So when it gets up to 80 degrees in the morning, like there's no amount of venting that would make a difference. It's just baking in the sun. Right. Then you can go under canopies and stuff. But again, super sought after nice places are going to be taken by the dentists. that reserve it 10 months in a row or early and then are there at 4:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And the Dennis's get the spots, and the vans come late.
But you guys have more fun. But you guys have more fun. Melissa says camping is allowed on recreation islands on a first-come, first-served basis. Reservations are not needed, and there is no fee to use the island. Some islands are more popular than others and will fill up quickly on the weekend. So I guess you got to it's a be cool bro scenario.
Yeah, and then that's, if you're coming from inland on a boat, it's hard to get there at the break of dawn to get your spot.
True.
And everybody who lives around there can do it.
Snags them.
So then if there's so you're packing up, you're driving, and all of a sudden someone's going to be at your island. It's like it's hard for a gamble with that much preparation.
Yeah, you got to have someone like Jason to get it set up for you probably, and then you make your way out there. Let's do one more and get out of here. Let's try this one.
Yo, BDM Neil here. Yeah, everything going digital. When I would go to Orlando City games before we moved, everything would go. They don't have paper tickets and all that stuff, and you would just do the little scan. But yeah, there always should be that feature to add to the wallet, because once you add it to the wallet, you're all good.
But not always can you add your tickets to your wallet. Like a lot of smaller venues, like let's say the Plaza Live here in town, they'll use Access app instead of using Ticketmaster. Well, I appreciate the savings that you get from them using somebody other than Ticketmaster, but then you have to have a completely other app to save your tickets, and then sometimes you can't save them on the wallet. There's just zero standardization.
Yeah. And for someone who's not tech savvy, good luck with that.
I mean, I am tech savvy, and I can feel it slipping out of my hands. You know what I mean? I can tell that age, if you don't practice it, reps or anything else, if you just, I can feel it. I can feel that it's not as easy for me anymore.
Yeah, and then a lot of people don't prepare. I guess nowadays you have to, at your house, make sure you bring up your tickets, and then can you just screenshot them?
No, some places you can use a screenshot. Some places you can't use a screenshot. I know the Kia Center, no screenshots allowed. You got to have it in the wallet.
Because it's constantly updating and whatever, yeah. So you're right. There should be a standard, but there isn't.
No, it's just like anything else. There's just the way that we watch streaming services and stuff. Literally nothing is standardized.
Yeah,
this is all crazy, the Wild West. Sometimes I'll subscribe to something and it connects to my YouTube TV. Sometimes they're like, no, you need a separate app. I'm like, you guys are driving me nuts. You're making me not want to be a part of media at all.
Although maybe in the future there'll be some sort of they did this with. I saw the change, and I'll give credit to the government and the corporations that figured this out with coming back from cruises with customs.
Oh, right.
I remember the insano long lines, and you had to talk to a person and all that stuff. And I remember bitching about this is ridiculous. And then I saw the change, and now you just walk through and they scan your face and you just keep walking. So maybe we'll get to a scan their face. You opt into a concert, and they know hey, you buy the tickets, it knows your face, and then it scans it, and then no more showing tickets or whatever. There'll be some better.
We're so close.
Way. Yeah.
It does feel like we're close, because I can remember 10, 15 years ago, our buddy Whopper Jr., Justin Clark from Cigar City, he was showing me his Tampa Bay Lightning jersey that had his credit card biometric woven into the sleeve of the right arm. Yeah. So when he went to get food or drinks, he could just wave his sleeve over the thing and it would just pay for it.
Yes.
And this is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I was we should have we need something better, instead of the thing swiping and then add it to your wallet. It's can't you just know it's on my phone? We're not there yet. When I walk by the Apple store, it'll say hey, here to pick something up. Can't you just do that?
It's getting better.
I'm impatient, though. I'm impatient.
You want it now?
I want it now.
All right. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out. Join the chat room. Say hi to all the wonderful people that are in there right now. See, if you were in there right now, you would get to see our guests. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but we will get there momentarily. Let's plug our Beer Fest real quick.
Yep. We've got a free Beer Fest November 22nd, and on November 23rd, the day after, is the Sanford Sofa Races.
Yes, sir.
Both free events. Come enjoy the day. And because one's a free beer festival where you can get unlimited samples of beer.
You got to have a photo
music.
ID. Bring the family, bring the pets, bring grandma. Yeah. It's a family-friendly event, but you have to be 21 and up to drink.
And on the next day, we're racing couches with wheels on them
Yes.
through the streets of San
Yeah,
Francisco.
and shall we?
Yep,
You wanna
let's do it.
All right, here we
Tom wanted to do a bit, he called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it, Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
On Zoom with us right now, Orlando news legend Amy Kaufeldt is on here. How you doing, Amy?
You guys, that's the best intro I have ever seen. Can you come do our intros at Fox 35? Because that was amazing.
I will gladly come and do intros at Fox 35. In fact,
that was pre-AI too.
KC, when we were talking to KC there at Fox 35, I bet you he can scrounge up my old double dose of Homer Simpson song I did. I did a song for Fox 35 where it was, it's a double dose.
Yeah, I was there with you.
And you and I were dancing and singing. And yeah, I think I've written songs professionally for Fox for a very long time. They just hide me in a closet somewhere. Hey, Amy,
I love
glad
it.
to have you here.
You could be still getting residuals on that too,
Well,
which
you
would
know
be
what?
amazing.
It ran for a very long time, but hey, thank you so much for doing Weird Job Wednesday. It's not.
Oh,
very
I love you
often-
guys. I'm so happy to be here.
Tom, you set this up. It's not very often that we get like a heavy hitter on Weird Job Wednesday.
Yeah.
We usually get
Please.
a nobody, you know?
And this is a truly weird job,
It
being
is.
a news anchor.
It is.
So, Amy, let's go back to the beginning. How did this even come about? Because I know you moved to Central Florida in 2003.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? 22 years I've been here. So I kind of, when I was a little kid, I really wanted to be an astronaut. Like that was my big thing. And I grew up, during the space shuttle days. And I just thought that was like, that's the coolest job. Right. And then in 7th grade, they wheeled the TVs into our classroom for us to watch the Challenger go up because a teacher was going to go up on the Challenger.
Yes.
And it just like that just ripped my heart out. When that Challenger, we lost that Challenger and that crew, I was like, wow, this is like this job may not be all butterflies and and roses. This is what they do is really hard and in some cases, you could die doing this job. And I thought maybe I don't want to do that job anymore. So that kind of take that dream and put it on the back burner. And then I loved writing. And so I really was interested in, I love to write, creative writing, essays, whatever. I started writing for my high school newspaper. And then I love that so much. I was like, you know what, maybe I'll go into college and do journalism. So I picked journalism as my major. I ended up doing broadcasting, and I went to Miami of Ohio, which is a like kind of a mid-sized school in Oxford, Ohio. It's halfway between Dayton and Cincinnati. And I started working at the NPR station, which was WMUB. It was W and then Miami University Broadcasting.
Gotcha.
And so it was crazy. My roommates, my college girlfriends would be coming home from going out, and I was doing the morning show for free because, as you guys know, there are no paid internships.
No.
So I would get up. I would get up at like 3:00 in the morning. I had to be in the radio station by 4 to prep the show. And so I would be going to work, and my roommates would be like, dragging their butts in the house from being at Uptown all night.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of where I bit the bug for broadcasting. I started in radio, and I loved it. One, I didn't have to get ready for work. I could just like get up and put my hair in a ponytail and go, which was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
You
How
guys
did
know?
you make the transition from like some people they start in radio and then they just stay there and die, like me and Tom. How did you make the transition, and did it have everything to do with you're not a hideous ghoul like me and Tom? Like, I'm looking at you right now via Zoom. If you're not joining us,
the ghouls stay in radio.
Yeah, if you're not on Twitch right now, if you're not on YouTube, then you can't see that in your top right-hand corner, that's me, total ghoul. And if you look on the bottom left-hand corner, not a ghoul.
Yeah.
So
you're like, you look around, you're like, I'm getting the hell out of here, going to the land of TV.
Did you look around in radio and you're like, I'm surrounded by ghouls. I have to get out of here. Is that what happened?
No, but I loved radio, and I think I would have stuck with it, but then I went and did a couple of TV internships. So I did one in at this NBC station in Columbus, summer, again, not paid. And then I did another internship at the NBC station in Dayton, Ohio.
Nice.
And that's where I was like, oh, this whole TV thing is really fun, you know? But I got to say, and you guys will appreciate this, I just remember when I was driving into the parking lot at WCMH in Columbus to intern, again, for free. I mentioned that many times, is that you would drive past all the salespeople's cars, and they were like driving like Mercedes and Lexuses, and like, wow, the salespeople have all the nice cars. And then you would get to where the lot where the news people's cars were, and it was all like Yugos and, you know, a Hyundai with like only 3 tires, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, wait a minute, I thought the on-air personalities were the rich ones. It turns out the sales, the head of sales. Want to find the richest person in the media? Head of sales.
Correct. Right. So maybe we all still picked like the wrong side of the business to go into, but yeah. So, but I loved the TV aspect of it. I thought it was really cool. I had some great mentors at some of those TV stations that really guided me. And so I put together, I would just bug photographers while I was out on stories with the reporters. I'd be like, hey, will you shoot a pretend stand up for me? And then I would put together a tape. Back in the olden days, you put together a tape, you would edit a tape together, and then you would get all these, like, you know, I don't know, I'm sure you guys did the same thing, right? You would go to the post office, and you would have a pile, and you would mail them off, and you would just keep your fingers crossed and hope somebody would call you.
So, Amy,
I still remember making tapes, and that's not even, it's so much easier to do that now. Like, I still remember having to cut using razor blades, but that's a conversation for a different time.
So,
you know?
so, Amy, I got so many questions for you, but first, like the path for a news anchor, a TV anchor, is a grind that a lot of people don't know about, and it is truly working your way up from markets and then shopping yourself out and having to move and your family and stuff and sometimes you have to move multiple times and radio too. Me and Daniel kind of have a unique experience in media, especially radio, because we never had to deal with that. Like, we were essentially at the same radio station for a long time.
Unheard of.
And then all of a sudden we now just moved to our own company for a long time. Like, we never had to do the move to different markets type of deal.
I thought I was going to,
But
you did.
I did, yeah. I had a couple of offers in different areas, but to be honest with you, I was very scared and could never really pull the trigger. I was too young to do it, and luckily, I found Real Radio, so I got lucky.
But Amy, let's talk about that grind and moving your way up through the markets. And does that still exist? And like, how was it back in the day?
Yeah, it does, but it's not to the extent that it did back when I started. So I sent out these tapes everywhere, right? And so the way TV markets work, there's, number one being the largest market, that would be New York City. It works all the way down. Number 2 is LA. Number 3, Chicago. Number 4, Dallas. And so, the markets are ranked just like with radio. And so here in Orlando, we're market 15, which is, a decent sized market. When I got here, I think we were 20. We just keep growing, which is wild.
And radio, I think we're like 34 or something, that's probably changed, but man,
isn't that wild? Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy how fast we grow. And as you guys know too, it depends on sort of what your viewing area or your listening area is. So for us, Orlando covers Melbourne and Daytona Beach, and so that adds to the viewership and goes as far north as Marion County, Sumter County, and so we have a pretty big viewing area. But so I sent these tapes out, and the first legit call that I got was in market 186, which is Great Falls, Montana. And so I just remember I was like, I had waited all summer. Like I wasn't getting very many calls. I got a call from El Paso, Texas. They were going to offer me minimum wage to be a reporter. I was like, minimum wage. I don't even remember what it was at that time, but I was like, how am I going to survive on that?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yes. It's insane. So I get this call from Dick Pompa, my very first news director, Great Falls, Montana. He calls me. He says, we want to hire you as our weekend anchor. I had never been on television before, other than doing these fake stand-ups, in these internships. And so my mom got in the car with me and we packed up my Nissan Altima and we drove to Great Falls, Montana from Ohio. It took us like 3 or 4 days to get there. And my mom moves me into this terrible apartment. It was like shag carpet. It was an efficiency. So it had like a little mini fridge, a little mini stove. It had a bed. It was furnished. The mattress was so bad that they had put a board under it because if they didn't, your butt was going to literally hit the floor. It was terrible. I had a sheet over the couch because it was so dirty. And that's where I lived. And I made $18,000 a year. And I rationed my money so that I could afford to go to the grocery store. And it was honestly probably one of the best experiences I had in broadcasting.
You threw us a real number too, and I just got to tell you, Tom is a big fan of the real. When we get the real number, like $18K.
That's not a livable wage.
No, $18K is about what you would spend to have your daughter dance at a dance studio in Orlando.
Right.
I might know that.
So, Amy, how weird is it? Because I went through a little bit of this where I was on the radio at like part-time at a time where like I was getting some airtime, and then people would meet you and be like, oh, you're famous. And I was like 10 times poorer than they were. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they just think because you're on the radio or on TV that you're immediately rich. I'm sure you went through that, right? Where it's like, why are you this poor?
Listen, and I was excited about $18,000 a year. Like this other offer in El Paso was minimum wage. I was like, man, I'm actually banking. But then the funny part was I get there to be weekend anchor and the news director's like, you know what? Our main anchor just left. We're just going to make you the main anchor. Well, did I ask for a raise? No. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
And so, Amy, the company absorbs the salary of the person that left, and you get nothing. Like, and you put his or her hat on.
They just made you
just do what they did.
They just made you the main anchor.
For $18K.
Yeah, wow, that's a steal.
And I was also the producer, and we didn't have computers. Now, there was a TV station next door. They did have computers. We did not. We had typewriters. And so, I would type up my scripts, and I would roll the feed tapes, and I ran my own teleprompter, and I was producer, so I would back time the show with a stopwatch on the set. So that we would get in and out on time. But
She's
this was back
freaking me
in the
out
old
with
days
the back timing and stuff because this is all stuff I had to do. You're freaking me out. These are not things that people do anymore.
You don't have to. A computer does them.
Computer does it. Yeah, computer does it.
So I would back time the show, and it was like the show was basically out of the half-hour show, there was 20 minutes that we had to fill, and 4 minutes for sports, 4 minutes for weather, and then we got the rest. And so that was what I had to fill with the time, and it was crazy, you guys. But you guys know it's those first jobs, like the experience is so incredible. You learn so much. You get over so many fears. And it was funny. You guys will appreciate this story. So one day we're in the newsroom and their only other station in town was a CBS station. We were the ABC. And so we would have the CBS station on in the background, just so we're monitoring what's going on. Well, Dan Rather pops up with a breaking news update. And the breaking news was that the Unabomber had just been arrested in Lincoln, Montana.
Oh, wow.
Which was like 20 minutes down the road from where we were. And we were like, holy crap, we got to go. And so we all load up, in our crappy little news cars with our crappy equipment. And we drive down to like where the Unabomber was just arrested, in this tiny town in Montana. And you guys remember the little cabin, and they put the cabin on the back of this flatbed truck and dragged it away. And I mean, that was it was the biggest story in the world. And it was in our backyard, and we were just clueless, had no idea. But that's small market TV,
There is an element of cutting your teeth in like it's kind of like media boot camp starting up, because in most media scenarios, you, like especially back in the day, you started as an intern. You worked your way literally from nothing, from getting people coffee to learning how to do jobs, from bosses telling you do this job now, and then you just learning to do it. Like it's all, and people too with like especially small town media, they think it's more professional and corporate than it is. It's like a lot of times it's a skeleton crew
and it's
putting
relationships.
together.
You know, like these people are like really good friends. They're like you just
no
said,
one has a budget.
You were your own producer, but think about how much more you learned having to do that, right? Like
yes.
I started doing radio at a time when you did need to know how to cut your own commercial, edit it, pick your background music, voice your own. Like if you had a spot, it was up to you to voice your own spot or you didn't get paid. So, I mean, I'm kind of glad I did that. I mean, good thing I did it, or we wouldn't have had an editor here. You know what I mean? Like I hammered that stuff a lot, and it's a good thing I did.
I would have waited for AI. I'm like, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's getting there.
So, Amy, I've been waiting to ask you this question, and then
I don't know where he's going either. This is gonna be crazy.
And it's like when I really started analyzing, like when we were in there on Good Day Orlando the other day with Colette, and we just seen you guys operate. I'm just super impressed.
It's really cool.
And to me, it's high stress because although I have been in radio and now we have cameras and whatever, but it's not as big of a deal. It doesn't, not even a small amount of percentage of the people are watching.
Oh my God, no.
But the when I look around and I see you perform and do your job, I'm like, man, this is high stress because you've got cameras on, you're reading a teleprompter, and so this question goes back to the time when social media really started picking apart anything you did and there was flaws or whatever, and you started 21 years ago and there was the beginnings of social media, but you must have seen the evolution where like
it's instant reaction now,
where you could make a mistake 20 years ago and it wouldn't be everywhere, it wouldn't be a meme, and it would and then all of a sudden I call it the mega doo-doo effect. Like you make one mistake as a news anchor, and then it could live on forever.
Yeah, everyone knows Dee Dee Mega Doo-Doo.
Then and it's like, so one small flub, and we've all seen the reels of like all the different anchors, like either a lizard jumps on them.
There are channels called news anchor bloopers.
So how is it living with that stress? And did you see it coming up and see the change and be like, uh-oh, now we're being extra scrutinized?
No, it's funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, this is going to sound Pollyanna. I think most people are so nice. And I mean, I just really haven't experienced like people being like, sometimes they are, right? Like this happens all the time. If you bring in a politician from one political party, and a lot of times, we can't bring them on together. So maybe we'll interview a Democrat one day and a Republican one day. And so we're trying to balance it out as best we can, but we can't get them on together, whatever. Sure. And we'll get nasty emails like, why would you bring that person on? All they do is lie. You didn't push back far enough, and we get the nasty emails, stuff like that. But for the most part, people are really nice. Every now and then, you'll have somebody who says something that's like, okay, that kind of hurt my feelings. And, and then, I just have to brush it off and move on. But for the most part, people are really kind. And I'm so grateful. I do remember, you guys will appreciate this. This was way back in the day. This was back when the Shannon Burke show was still on the air, and I would go on that show years and years ago. And there was a viewer who was picking on me because she could see my pregnant belly, and she didn't want to see like she was like, I can see your belly button protruding through your shirt, and she was like telling me that she just thought it was disgusting and I shouldn't be showing it. I don't remember whatever she said. It was like very hurtful.
I told a woman that at Olive Garden one time. I was out to eat with my family. And I said, ma'am, my family is eating. My wife's trying to have linguine.
Put a napkin over it.
Stop. But I mentioned it on Shannon Burke's show that day.
Yeah.
And the lady called in and apologized. And she was like, she's like, that was me. And she apologized and like said how bad she felt about it later or whatever. I just think, sometimes people say things and they don't realize it. It's the keyboard warriors, it's no different than anything on social media. People will say things that they would not normally say to your face. And then I think they just don't think, and I know you guys get this too, they just don't think that we're human or that we have feelings.
Yeah.
Or I think sometimes you think, especially with big time celebrities, I think that people really don't think even big time celebrities have feelings. They do, just everybody puts their pants on the same way.
I think media dehumanizes you in a certain, especially news, where you're you're presenting stories, and it's your job to present them with no bias behind them or no inflection. It's kind of like and then with that, I think the people then get trained to be like, oh, this person can handle anything. It's not like they're just presenting all these stories with no emotion.
Like we're just robots or something.
But it's your job to do that, though.
Yeah.
And also, we spend a lot of time with a lot of our news anchors. Like I know I'm up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm on the Peloton, jumping around on that stupid thing. And I'm always, whoever I'm watching in the morning, right? Like there is a connection there, and it's a one-way street, right? Because you're telling me all the stuff, and the ideas or the relationship I have with you or the opinions that I form about you are really unfair because all I'm doing is consuming the stories you're telling me. It is truly unfair, but it's part of the job, I guess.
So, Amy, real quick, let's get into the job because I'm curious to like what your normal day-to-day is. Like, do you have an idea before you go on about all the stories you're going to present? Do you go over those, or are you so pro at this point you could do it on the fly?
A little bit of both. So it depends on the day, right? So sometimes if I have to like come in extra early to anchor the early show, so our show is 7 hours now, which is insane. When I got here, back in 2003, our morning show was just 3 hours long. It's now 7 hours long.
That's insane, Amy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's a lot of news.
That was 7 hours.
Crazy. So that's why I laugh whenever the producers are like, I don't think we have time for that story. I'm like, no, we have 7 hours. We can squeeze in this 20-second story somewhere. I'm sure of it, But so it depends on like how early I'm coming in. But the earlier I come in, usually the less time I have prep time. But for the most part, I get up in the morning. The first thing I do is I start pulling up websites. I start reading to see what are the big stories. What are people talking about? What do people care about? Obviously, it depends on the day. And if there's breaking news, that's also something that, is out of our control. And when you're on the air for 7 hours, a lot of times there's breaking news during the shows. But, so I usually try to read through all my scripts, try to tinker with them a little bit if I can. Sometimes I'm reading through them on the anchor desk as we're going because stuff's changing. Or sometimes, if you're anchoring the 5 or 6 o'clock show in the morning, the 8 or 9 o'clock show might not even be done yet because the producers are still working on it. So so it's kind of crazy.
And then living around here, you have like hurricanes. I mean, like if something happens, you're there for the duration, right? Like, has that changed? Is that different from being like a Central Florida, anchor person where like you are? Once we have a storm, you're on the clock. That's just the way it goes, right? Is that expected?
Yeah, so on storms during hurricanes, we'd work 12-hour shifts. So it's like 12 on, 12 off. A lot of times if the storm is bad, we do sleep here at the TV station, which is not fun, not comfortable. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Yep. So we bring, they'll provide air mattresses and we'll bring blankets and pillow and we will sleep on the floor.
That is rough.
Just wait till our starts.
Can I suggest something to any news station builders out there? Just build like 2 hotel rooms into the news station because we live in Florida. Hurricanes are here to stay. You were making the news anchor sleep on air mattresses on the floor and like the janitor's room. Just build a hotel. Build that into your budget.
Yeah, you might as well have a room with some cots in it.
You're providing a service for all of us citizens, and you guys still have to sleep on an air mattress?
I know. It's terrible. I mean, thankfully, it's not often.
Right.
It's, however, and thank God we didn't have to do it this year at all. Knock on wood. And hopefully we still don't.
Yep.
But yeah,
Amy,
it's crazy.
So I'm curious when you're reading the teleprompter, by the way, this is my greatest fear. This is probably, 99% of why I stick to radio.
And it's completely opposite because I love the teleprompter. I love it.
Like
I love the challenge of it.
Like reading something and presenting to it, like I'm just saying it, is crazy
Amy,
to me.
I love it.
I don't have that talent.
When we used to do Orlando City, the difference of the two of us is when they'd change our script and they'd run over and be like, "Here, say this." They'd hand it to me. I'd be like, "Ooh." I wouldn't even look at it. I'd be like, 3, 2, 1, give it to me now. And then I would just look at it. I'd be like, see if I can do it. It's like a test.
So, do you can you be Ron Burgundy? And by that I mean as
no way she can.
Okay,
no way.
So your brain is interpreting what's going on before, or are you just reading the words?
Okay, I love that you said that. So I don't know if it's just the weird way my brain works, but I'm always reading a couple of like words ahead of the words that are coming out of my mouth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So like my brain is already processing what's to come even before I read it. So that's how we catch. That's what I say. Like I'm pretty good at catching typos, or mistakes in the script. And it's also about, here's the other thing. And this is hard because for morning anchors, you know how sometimes you're not awake.
Yeah.
And you're just like, the caffeine hasn't kicked in yet. I'm not awake, or I didn't get a great night's sleep last night. That's the hardest part, is because you really do have to. There's nothing worse to me than watching someone anchor the news and they're not processing what they're saying. They're just quite literally reading what is in the teleprompter and they have no connection to what the story is. I think you can tell when someone is like sort of like robotic about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not present. Like, not
Correct.
to sound like a therapist, but yeah, it does sound like that. And yeah, you can tell when they're being distracted or when they're muddling through.
I'm hungover, Amy. How are you able to do it?
Listen, it happens, and not every listen, we do this a lot. You guys know, like, not every day is your A game day.
Correct.
You're gonna have days where you're like, man, I just mailed that in today, but I got through it.
I mean, that is unbelievably difficult. Because that takes a lot of brain power to be present into a story, happy then sad. It goes flip-flops back and forth, and that's another impressive part to what you do for a living in like presenting horrible, depressing news, and then presenting like lighthearted news right after, and then you never know when it's coming. Like all of a sudden, you could be presenting something lighthearted, and then a tragedy happens, it's breaking, that you have to switch modes, and then all of a sudden present and be present and be emotionally present with the how heavy what you're presenting is. That's crazy.
Or for instance, and I'd ask you about this. I mean, I'm sure you've been through some tough times where you're going to cover something for like a year, like let's say Casey Anthony. You're going to take something that's so terrible and you're going to have to fire that up at the beginning of your newscast. I'm going to be at least 3 months of leading the newscast with this stupid story. That's hard, right? Like, do you have to compartmentalize that or speak to a therapist or talk to your family about it, like to kind of decompress to be okay with doing that?
So it's funny you mentioned that, Dan. That's one of the hardest stories that I covered was the Casey Anthony trial, because we actually covered gavel to gavel. So we would do the morning show. And then once court would start up at 9, we would take live coverage of the trial. And so then we would hand off to the night side crew, right? So we would be on the air. So I would start my morning at 6 a.m. I would do the newscast. At 9 o'clock, we would start trial coverage. We carried the whole trial live all day long. For how long was that trial? I want to say it was like 7 weeks or something.
It was a minute, yeah.
So, right. So you can't help but get invested in the trial. I mean, I'm literally listening to every word, every witness, and then we would have legal experts who were in the studio with us. And so we would, anytime there was a sidebar, which you guys remember, there are a lot of sidebars.
Tons.
So we'd be like, let's go to our legal experts in the studio. And then we would ask questions and we would talk to them about what's going on. Or what did you think about this witness testimony?
Heavy, man.
So when that verdict came down, I just remember being like, oh my gosh, and as a journalist, we're not supposed to have feelings one way or the other. We're supposed to be like impartial, just like the judge, right? Like, I'm impartial. I have no feelings one way or the other about this, person on trial. But wow. But I sat down with George and Cindy Anthony in their home before they had any idea that Casey had anything to do with this, and I just
your connection's different is my point.
Yeah.
Like you're sort of right on the sideline, and that's to me, that's too close. That's scary. That's a heavy weight to carry for somebody that's really not involved, but you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Amen.
you talk to these people, the story's about.
It's
and
real.
Then now, like, you have, no matter what, you interview someone, there's some personal connection, but now you have to deliver the story. Yeah, I sometimes I don't think people appreciate when they're watching the news, like, how hard your job is, and there's so many moving parts. And, like, every time I watch the news and an anchor present it, I'm like, man, this is more difficult than it seems, and they make it look easy.
But what's the most fun part? Because, we've dug into the difficult part, the hard part, the sad part. What's the part that continues to make you do it, and people around here love you? Our listeners are in the chat room. They love you. I mean, there's a reason you're still doing this. So why? Why still do this?
You know what? So the fun parts are what keep you going. Okay, and I'll give you an example. This was like the coolest thing. So a couple of weeks ago, I get an email from a viewer, longtime viewer of Good Day Orlando, and she says, Amy, she goes, I know you're connected in the community and you love golden retrievers. And she's like, I've got this golden retriever. I just saw I froze, didn't I?
Oh yeah, that's all right. I'll
okay.
Well, just continue. I'll start monkeying with it here. We might be
okay,
overloading.
Amy, this is how much of a pro you are. You noticed that? I wasn't even paying attention. I'm staring off into the distance.
I'm checking my fantasy football. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's not true. I'm not doing that.
I'm texting my guy Casey right now.
It's probably on our end.
He's gonna come back.
Yeah, it's
so
probably on our end.
So sorry about that. And it's
You're
like,
fine.
of course, it froze in the most like painful way.
Yeah,
like,
that's not a good phrase. That is not a good phrase. Hold on, I'll
like
make the same
hideous.
face you're making just to make it fair.
I like Amy's like, I'm such a pro that while I'm telling you the story, I'll have Daniel log me into his computer. I'll fix it myself.
Let me show you what's wrong, Dan, since you're having horrible computer problems this week. Jesus.
It's so hideous.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm trying to fix it.
So I'm just going to pretend I can't see that. You can still hear me, okay?
Yeah,
right?
you sound great. You sound
okay. God bless you guys. So I get this great email from this viewer who's like, I watched the GDO. I know you love golden retrievers. She's like, I have this dog that was born without its right front paw.
Aww.
And she's like, I would love to have it go to a family that either has somebody who has a limb difference. And a limb difference, just for people who don't know, is it's someone like people that we know all well, which would be like Carson Pickett, who plays for the Orlando Pride, or Shaquem Griffin, who played for UCF football, who play without one of their limbs, without an arm. And so I was like, you know what? I know this lady. I think she'd be great. And so I messaged my friend Amy, who has a limb difference. She is missing her right front hand. And I said, Amy, would you want to, look at this puppy? This lady really wants to go to a family with someone who has a limb difference.
Yeah.
And so Amy's like, oh, I'm sure I can find somebody. She's like, busy mom. She's got 3 kids of her own. So she goes to meet this puppy and she's like, oh my gosh, love at first sight. This is the cutest dog I've ever seen. She's like, my husband works at a children's hospital. He said he will train the dog as a therapy dog, and we will bring this little, they call him little tripod dog. His name is Charlie.
Tripod.
We will bring him to hospitals and he will meet kids who have limb differences and he'll be a great therapy dog. And so we brought them all together on Good Day Orlando and we told the story, and people were like, not a dry eye in the house. Everybody's like, this is amazing. What a great story. Yeah. It's stuff like that. That's just so cool.
And you guys,
when you're somewhere for a long time, that you build up those special connections with people.
Yeah, and you're part of their day. You're part of and they trust you, and the fact that you're able to connect those dots for, that's a beautiful story. That's fantastic. I love it.
So
it's very cool. You guys got to go on my Instagram.
And I'll definitely go and check it out.
This is why I love this guy. So Casey's going to come in. He's going to try to figure out what's wrong.
I'm going to do something.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's fine. At least we got the picture of you, the horrible frozen photo.
It froze on me, and it was like the most hideous face ever. It was so bad.
No, it's not.
Tom, you got a parting question for Amy? I don't want to waste more of her time.
No. I'm curious to how. Like if you deal with technical difficulties or just like we're doing now.
She's doing it right now.
So
I've never felt more at ease.
So what's the protocol of like, okay, something technical difficulties, everything shuts down and you're still live on the air, you can't go to break, and now you've got to improv.
Oh, there she is.
So when it comes to that, like especially when you've trained so many decades with doing doing your job, presenting it properly, making sure everything, the facts are right, and then all of a sudden things go wrong.
And we just had that problem, and then they fixed it in the background. You would have never known.
And you got to improv. Like, have you had any? Like, what's the training for that?
Okay, so the training, as you guys know, is just experience, because there is nothing better than just experience for stuff like that. But I have to tell you, so we're going through a total building renovation right now.
Yeah.
And so the construction has been crazy. So twice now, once an electrician cut through our internet lines. So we lost all our computers and all of our live shots, because everything is internet based, right? It's totally different. We don't have live trucks anymore.
No.
You know, all the old antiquated equipment is gone. Everything is just like cell phone signals. So for an hour and a half, we lost all of our live shots. So we were like, well, I guess we're just talking a lot. And so we just were like, it was like radio, basically. We just talked. We were like, okay, we don't have any live shots to go to. We don't have computers. So we had our phones. Thankfully, we still had our internet on our phones. And so we just did that. And then the other day, same thing, another construction mishap. Somebody cut through an electrical wire and we went black, and we were off the air for 10 minutes, which you guys know is in eternity.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse. Like, when I turn on the radio and I'm trying to listen to you guys and there's dead air, I'm like, oh, this is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Now, it's less bad for
nothing
us
worse.
because we're not there or running the show. So I'll just get an email from somebody saying, hey, your show's messed up, and I'll be like, I don't care. No, I don't do that.
Like, download.
But yes, that is, as a person that has anxiety, as the producer of this show, we've had it a bunch of times this week where this computer that we're using will go, it'll just die, and I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because we are so dependent on these things now. Like, we would have never had cameras. You know, we were podcasters or radio guys, but here we are with cameras. You know, everything has changed. I mean, when you got into this, you were supposed to be bringing us the news, not necessarily supposed to be on X or Instagram sharing your 5K or the different charity, right? I mean, these are all parts of our business that just became completely different.
So Amy, I'm sure a lot of people ask you this one question, but like, how long does it take you to get prepared to be on TV every day? Like, because I know this from
that's a good question.
Daniel's wife worked in the news, and she would say, like,
her name is Andrea, sir.
I love her.
And
she says hello.
Andrew would talk about that, like, they get a lot of complaints about like what the anchors were wearing.
Oh, I can talk about it.
Or like if they're
she doesn't work there anymore. Martha Sagowski, when she worked at WESH, Andrea was on the news desk, you know, so she'd be the one getting the emails and be like, tell her to take off that feather boa. She's doing the news, or like who do you think you are? And it's so I always thought it was terrible for female anchors. People were critical, man.
Yeah. Just like your hair's got to be perfect, your makeup's got to be perfect. Like all that takes an insane amount of time.
Blend your neck makeup. Don't let your neck look bright white and your face look tan.
I don't do neck makeup yet, but I probably should.
I do it. I have to do it.
But do you become any crazy professional? A lot of people too think you guys have like a team every morning that you sit down and they do.
You're pampered. You're sipping a latte.
Yeah. And someone's like a movie set or something. So explain that process.
Yeah, the process is I do everything myself. I always tell people, if you don't like my outfit, if you don't like my hair, if you don't like my makeup, it's me. I'm the only person to blame. We don't have anybody to help us. We just don't. We do it all ourselves. And so, like, we pick out our own clothes and we do our own makeup. We do have a makeup lady who comes in like once a year, and she's like, those colors don't look good on you. Maybe try this. But like, that's once a year. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So yeah. So I don't know. It takes me like an hour to get ready in the morning. There's like two schools of thought on prepping for a newscast. There are people who come to work and they're just like, they haven't done anything. They're fresh faced, maybe hair pulled back in a ponytail, and they just walk in and they're like, I'm going to do everything at work. I actually like to do everything at home, so that when I walk into work, if something happens, something crashes and burns and they need to throw me on TV, I'm ready. Because you can always tell, right? When you're watching the news and you're like, that person doesn't look like they're ready, or like they have like one eyelash on and they
Yeah.
haven't put on this one yet. Or
Yeah,
like,
you can't
and
tell.
throughout the newscast, they start actually looking more attractive. You're like, huh?
Yeah, they've been
going
touching
on
up
here?
during the commercial breaks, I see.
Amy, do you ever miss being out on the field, like a reporter out there on the scene, or is that just a crazy, stressful other side of the business that is that you do not miss?
That is the most, I think, being out in the field is the most stressful job. The reporters and the photographers, their jobs are nuts. So we still get to go out and report, but I'll do like we do live shows. Like David Martin and I'll go out and we'll do like live road shows. And so that's basically essentially like reporting, but you're live for an entire hour. So those shows are actually pretty stressful because when you're out live, there's a lot of uncontrollables, So I don't necessarily miss like the day-to-day reporting because it's tough. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, there were days where you were out reporting like all day long. There'd be, you're covering a shooting in a bad neighborhood. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? And like you're there the whole day. Like, what do you do? It's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to break down all of our gear and go down to the gas station and come back. And I mean, it's not easy. They really, I mean, those reporters, they get yelled at, spit at. I've had reporter friends get shot at.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's dangerous.
Yeah,
it
scary
can be
out
rough.
there.
They're using a bathroom and some gas station in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, nobody likes to do
It
that.
happens.
Yeah, I know.
It happens.
But no one sees that part, Amy.
No.
We all just see the TV and the person standing
Look
in
at
front
that
of the camera.
attractive person telling me something.
And they don't see them having to drive there in the middle of the night and using the bathroom at the ghetto gas station and all the behind the scenes. And then like all of a sudden the cameraman's like giving them a signal like, hey, your audio's off, so we can just see your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then having to deal with that real time is, it's a super
it's a
stressful
lot.
job. Now, we'll end with this, Amy. Do anybody in the news, do they get paid per the market they're in? Like, I'm wondering, like, just in general, like, I'm not asking you what you get paid, but just like, does it depend on what marketing you're in and how big the market is? Does it depend on like your tenure at the station?
That's a good
and
question.
how does that work?
So it depends on, there's so many factors that go into it. It depends on the company you work for, right? Some companies pay better than others. The health of your company, some media companies are doing great right now, some are not. I'm very lucky to be at one that is a very healthy media company. But yes, it depends on market size. It depends on experience, right? So the more experience you have, the more likely that, you're going to get paid. So all those factors into it. And early on, you asked me, Tom, about the, how times have changed. And so, I started to market 186. But nowadays you don't have to do that, right? There's such a need for reporters and anchors in those mid-sized markets, and you don't have to go down to the super small markets like we used to back in the olden days. So there's more opportunity out there, but I don't know. I just think that it really is different for everyone. This is not a business where I think most people don't get rich unless you work at the network. Or maybe you're working in a top 5 market and you've been there, like the folks who've been at Fox New York, for a long time, they're doing really well. Plus you also, and the other thing too, as you guys know, sometimes you have to earn the money in order to live in the market where you are. I interviewed for a job in Seattle years ago and they were like, well, if you want to, Seattle's super expensive. So if you're going to work here, you're going to have to live an hour and a half outside of town if you even want to be able to afford something based on what you're going to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. If rent's $8,000 a month, your salary has to afford that. And I forgot I was going to ask you one more question about
Amy wouldn't have forgotten. She's a pro. Amy already, she thinks 5 words in front. You need to be thinking 5 words in front.
Yeah, no, I know. I guess, it goes back to like
clothing budget. That's my final question.
Oh, yeah, because you can't wear the same thing every time.
Yeah, do you how hard is that? Yeah, do you rent? I've always
Some girls do.
Yeah.
Some of the girls I work with do like Rent the Runway, or there's like other websites that you can like pay $100 a month and they'll send you like 3 or 4 outfits or whatever. So some of the girls here do that. I don't. I just try to find stuff on sale. And then I just try to be really conscious of not like wearing the same thing too often. I got to tell you guys, you'll appreciate this. Back in my Great Falls, Montana days, I had a calendar and I would write on there. I only had like 5 outfits. And so I would have to mix it up. So I had like 5 blazers. Back then you had to wear a blazer every day or a suit. And so I'd be like, okay, today I wore black blazer with white blouse. Tomorrow I'm going to wear green blazer with navy blouse. And then I would like try to mix it up. And then I'd be like, okay. And I would write it down because otherwise I was like, I'm wearing the same thing every day.
That makes sense.
I had no money, you know?
I remember my question. Are there social media influencers in the news industry that maybe jump the traditional work your way up because they have such a huge following? All of a sudden, they get opportunities now that maybe jump the person that worked longer, but because they got a huge following, like media is media, and they're like, hey, I'm going to give this person, they have a huge following already, they're going to get the job. Is that happening?
I mean, I do think that there is a lot of that. I think there's a lot of people who are going into this business now, not because they love journalism, but because they want to be on TV.
Yeah.
Or they think of it as being a route to bump up their influence on social media.
I agree.
That's not me. Like I guess I'm old school. And I'm old, so maybe it's I just don't look at it that way. But I do think that yes, absolutely, that is a trend that we're seeing, is that people are going into the business not because they care about the news that they're delivering you, but more so because they care about how can I grow my influence on TikTok or Instagram, or you know what I mean? And then maybe that becomes my job as opposed to working here.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I
I
think
can
that
see
happens
that.
a lot.
Amy, thanks so much for taking the time with
I
us
love
today.
you guys.
We love you too. Thank you for the time and explaining what you do. And thanks to Casey for helping us out and making us look good. And hey, just thank you for doing this. We really appreciate you being on Weird Job Wednesday.
You guys are amazing. I have been listening to Love Thy Neighbor, by the way, and I love it.
Thank you.
I've been really trying to do the 6-second kiss, and I haven't.
It's hard.
I can't.
6-second
It's
kiss
really
is
hard.
awkward. It's an awkward kiss.
I don't believe that works, Amy.
Are you going to tell Colette that?
Well, no,
We
I
won't
can't.
tell Colette.
No, I can't
But
tell Colette, but
I'll try again today. I'll let you know.
All right,
Thank
let
you.
us know. Take care of yourself.
See ya.
Thanks, you guys.
See ya. Bye. That is Amy Kaufeldt.
Man, she's awesome. Like, what a pro. My
So
God.
good.
Like,
Oh, I got hair from my mustache trapped between my teeth.
go read her resume. Like, an unbelievable professional, and just 7 hours.
7
That's
hours.
crazy.
Isn't that what?
That's insane.
Hold on, isn't that what's his name says? He goes, 7 hours of uninterrupted football starts now. That's 7
insane.
hours is red zone.
That
Isn't
is,
it?
I mean,
That's too long.
that's the difference. Like, our show is a 5K. That's an ultra marathon. Like, that's crazy.
There's not 7 hours of local news. There's
No.
there's not 7 hours of things that happen in
How do you have the mental capacity to be on for that long? It's crazy. Amy Kaufeldt, everybody.
There
All
you
right.
go.
We will see you tomorrow.